What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the casino. Account sitting at 175, 660. Let me show you guys. Last week, we actually had a lot of momentum upward, and the account was in 183.8, which is really cool because we're getting back to all-time highs, which were 188.6. So hopefully, with a good print from Google and Meta and Microsoft, we can see strong momentum from those three, and of course Amazon too. Let's not forget about them, to bring the portfolio up to the 200K mark, which I think is honestly very possible. Like, yeah, it's a lot of money to go up, but I have a lot of leverage with Meta and Amazon. And as you guys know, I have a lot of Google and Microsoft as well. We're in Microsoft position sitting flat right now. If we see like a 5-7% move upward, that can mean like $3,000 to $4,000. And if we see even more, like closer to 10%, then it's even more, of course. But anyways, hopefully we see some good momentum upwards here for the account. Semiconductor stocks are still selling off a good bit. And it's going to be very telling this week to understand if Meta and the hyperscalers are still going to spend money with AI. And I'm sure they're going to raise guidance like they have because they still don't have enough compute. A lot of these companies have hundreds of billions of dollars of cloud backlogs or future commit of spend, like, for example, Azure or GCP. People want to use their services and use their compute, but they don't have the infrastructure, so they're having to go and build it. And the market really doesn't like it because it kills their free cash flow for the instant right now. And people are very, very, very narrow-sighted. But I am not, and I know a lot of you guys are not either. Understand that Meta trading under 20p ratio like they were a couple of months ago, or Microsoft trading at like a 22 or 23p ratio where they've historically traded at a 33, 35. These are screaming buys in my opinion, and that's where I've positioned my portfolio. A couple of good news here for us is that crypto has moved our way a couple of percentage points. So as you guys can see, we're up $100 on Bitcoin and Ethereum. And let's go into the crypto section here. I know we really haven't talked much about crypto, but I have a little bit of both here when it comes to Bitcoin and Ethereum. A small position for me comparing to the larger portfolio, just mostly in equities. But it's still cool to see that, on a weekly basis here, they're up 5%. And that also represents $826. So it's kind of like a sneaky little gain here for the portfolio overall. These gains right here, this crypto portfolio also accounts for the 175 mark or 174. So it's a mix of equities and crypto. So if you look at the last month over here, we're up 4.3%, which is trading the right direction, but this is actually good momentum here at 5.6% for the crypto. Let's not much talk about crypto. I think they're still finding their footing after all these drops. And Bitcoin has been doing a lot of this for the last couple of months. As we saw $80,000 Bitcoin in May, which is crazy. And then now it's only in the 60s. And once it gets under 60, it just gets bought up like in a day. Look at how crazy this is. Yeah, it gets bought up super quick. So, I mean, this could be the most pain that we're going to see for crypto. And I've talked about this in the past. Like, I don't know. I mean, they seem to follow the 4-year cycle. If you are aware of those charts, where the 4-year cycle ends, or the bear market ends in October, according to the charts. We'll see if it's true or not. It has been proven truth for the last, 12 years. But we'll see what happens. Just a little fun here, some exposure to the crypto, a little bit more volatile. I think if this summer or maybe at the end of the year, next year, whatever the next bull run happens, like I'm going to be well positioned because I have like an $80,000 basis for Bitcoin. And I think like a $2,100 basis or $2,000 basis for Ethereum, which is pretty decent. Like if we see Ethereum at like 5,000, that's a $15,000 position here for me. If you see Bitcoin back to 100, that's like $15,000 position for me. So that's like 30 G's just in crypto right here. That could, balloon up to even more if we see higher prices. But, that's like a mega bullish case, maybe a year and a half, 2 years from now, or maybe never. I don't know. We'll see what happens with this thing. But it's just cool to see that, they're moving up in the right direction. Let's talk about Google. They're actually reporting on earnings this week and on the 22nd, so 2 days from now. And they were trading up on the day on some good news that their Gemini model is more efficient. Google's reporting earnings this week, and they haven't missed earnings in 7 weeks. So we know that they're gonna, or I'm sorry, in the last seven prints that they've had, they haven't missed. So, they're not gonna miss right now. I know that. The real truth right here is gonna be if they're going to raise guidance for CapEx spend. That's gonna be a big one. Like they blew earnings out of the water right here. I expect these earnings are gonna come back super strong. Especially with search that everybody thought he was dead around this time right here, which was bizarre. Their search business is still very strong. Their GCP business has probably grown a ton as well. And we're going to see in a couple of days those numbers, exactly how that looks. But I can see a lot of upward momentum here for Google and going back to all-time highs by the end of the year, or maybe in a couple of months if we see some good numbers from the company. They're trading at 402. I think their all-time high was 408. So if you think about it, like we still have like 10-20% to go to reach all-time highs and then over that, which would be really cool. But that's Google for us right here. And then Microsoft is also reporting earnings this week. And I'll bring you guys a recap of all the earnings reports on Friday. So don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But let's talk about Microsoft. They're trading at 401 right now. I have a 408 basis, so a little bit underwater, 1.7% underwater on my Microsoft position. And this is a big portfolio. This is a big position for me at 24%. I'm going to end up adding a little bit of money to this. So all of these positions are going to, flatten a little bit, and they're not going to be so heavy. So that's why I went heavy with Microsoft right now, because I know I'm going to have some cash coming into the portfolio, and these positions are going to be more, they're going to make more sense, because 25% of a portfolio in any underlying, I think it's a little bit of a concentration risk, but I don't care. I think Microsoft's phenomenal. And this is not, financial advice by any means, guys. Do your own due diligence. This is just what I do with my money. But let's look at Microsoft's earnings right here. And, we get bullish news as well that AMD is going to work with Microsoft. And, that's always really cool. AMD is a beast. They report, of course, Q4 for year 26 on July 29th. So that's next week, actually. And it's going to be after hours. I think that's a Tuesday. So that's going to be interesting to see. They're probably going to raise CapEx spend. They're probably going to report that their cloud business is growing. The way that they raise CapEx is going to be interesting. The same thing with Meta. I don't know if they're going to raise from the equities market, like diluting the shareholder and selling shares on the open market, when Microsoft and Meta have both been pretty beaten up these last couple of months and year. So hopefully they don't raise money that way, but we'll see what happens here on the 29th. I'm waiting to see, very, very patiently waiting. The end of July will be very, very telling to see where the portfolio is going to move for the summertime. Who doesn't like a $91 dividend from the big MSFT? So very happy with Microsoft so far. Guys, you have to be patient with these things. Like whenever you buy into an underlying, don't think that it's going to run up like next week or next month. Like you have to buy quality compounding machines that make a ton of cash and hold them forever. That's the goal, guys. You got to buy companies at the right price and hold them forever. Like look at these numbers right here. Their fair value is at 600 according to whatever analyst here or Morningstar. Their moat's extremely wide. I think their uncertainty is low. Just by for example, like their Office 365 products, they work with more than 85% of Fortune 500 companies. Think about that market share they have. Their stewardship is exemplary, so whatever that means. But they have a 5-star. I think they're for sure undervalued at these prices. Like 95% of the analysts think this is a buy, and I bought. I've been buying Microsoft for a while, and so have other investors like Bill Ackman and other people. Congress have actually bought a ton of Microsoft a couple of months ago. And I think this whole year, the first half of the year, they've bought a lot of it. So good sign, hopefully. Well, I don't know. Only time will tell. But either way, that's how my portfolio sits right now. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these portfolio updates. I couldn't bring a video to you guys on Friday, but portfolio sitting on 175, 750 with a $2,200 day, which is always pretty cool to see. But the big moves are going to come with the earnings of the hyperscalers like Google and Meta and Microsoft and Amazon, of course. So we're going to see what happens. Marvell still bleeding a good bit at 34% in the negative. Like I've mentioned, the semiconductors have been selling off a lot. Robinhood is actually trading under $100 a share. I might scoop up some Robinhood. I really like this company. ServiceNow and honestly, the software sector has still not yet recovered fully from their drawdowns. We saw a good momentum up, but they're giving back some of those gains. I think my Palantir was trading at like a 30% gain, and same thing with Zeta Global. But it's all good. You know, we remain patient. Might allocate a little bit more into these three as well. Again, not financial advice, just what I'm doing with my money. CoreWeave, a fantastic company, selling off negative 30% since I bought my $1 of honorable shares added to the watch list. And these right here have been a disaster. So if you've been following the channel, I put, I think like $1,600 or maybe $1,000, split it up into the six of these right here. And I mean, let's look at Rocket Lab. They're down 50%. ASTS is down 43% since I bought. QBTS, IonQ, and Rigetti, which are all in the quantum space, are down 43%. Like, think about this, guys. This is insane. What's going on with these companies? I don't know. I'm just gonna hold and do whatever. I don't. This is just whatever. I mean, that's why I allocated like 1% of the portfolio, and that's why this is my super mega speculative bets aisle right here of my SpaceX down 10%. So this is how the portfolio sits. This probably adds up to maybe like $1,600, $2,000 tops. And I'm down almost a lot of money. So it hurts, even though it's not necessarily a lot of money for the portfolio. For me, like $300, it's a lot of money still. Like, if I could go back and not have bought this, then I wouldn't have done it. But it's all good, you know, you live, you learn. But this is how the portfolio is sitting right now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the videos. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I'll bring you guys an update on Friday with the updated Microsoft next week is actually, but Google reports in a couple of days. It's going to be very telling to see what's going on with this company. So don't forget to subscribe. I'm growing this to $250,000 by the end of the year. So this is going to be at $250,000. Mark my words. So follow now so you can see the growth to $1 million either next year or the following. But I appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, like I said, and I'll talk to you guys soon.